It is game one. It is the Stanley Cup final. Your Calgary Flames are for the second time in the GM mode appearing in the Stanley Cup final. We have the battle of Johnny Gaudreau's teams, basically. I know that when NHL 14 came out that Johnny Gaudreau obviously had not played for the Columbus Blue Jackets at that point in time. And there is no Johnny Gaudreau in the game. I explained it at the end of the last episode, but in summary, I didn't download a roster update before I started the GM mode. It would have added Gaudreau, I believe. Someone made a comment about that. And also, once I start the GM mode, I cannot create a player. So there is no Johnny Gaudreau in the game, but there is the Battle of Columbus versus Calgary. So the leading goaltenders in the playoffs to this point, Campbell for Dallas leads in save percentage, but shortly underneath that you see Peter Mrazek with a .934 has led the Calgary Flames back to the Cup final. Oscar Dansk in the net, and he is 7th in GAA. He is not up there on save percentage, but there's a lot of good goalies with a lot of good save percentages over there on that left side column. Points-wise, this is, Oliver Bjorkstrand with 19 points. Leads the league in playoff points. Dansk with 12 wins. I don't know how many games the Blue Jackets have played to this point in the playoffs, but we'll find that information out shortly. There are no Flames on that points column. There are no Flames players that lead the NHL, or at least are top 8 in the NHL in points. In terms of goals, assists, you see it here. There are no Flames on this list as well. We have Anisimov, Duclair, Bjorkstrand, all with 7 goals, spreading it around offensively for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The assist leaders, Bjorkstrand, we saw him, he's a point leader. Anisimov down there at the bottom of that assist list. So they're getting it done, offensively speaking. The Columbus Blue Jackets, hopefully I can remember to edit this in here in the beginning, as I am doing this after Game 1, and I don't want to spoil anything from Game 1, so I'm just going to show this half of the bracket. This is what Columbus did to get to the Stanley Cup final. They went through Tampa Bay in 6 games, it was New Jersey in 6 games, and it was Detroit in 6 games, so they had to play 6, and then another 6 games to get to the Stanley Cup final. Your Calgary Flames swept the San Jose Sharks, defeated the Phoenix Coyotes in 6 games, and then eliminated the Chicago Blackhawks in a very intense 6-game series as well. So we saw the points, the top 3 guys here in this list for Columbus: Anisimov, Bjorkstrand, Duclair. Then underneath that, Atkinson has a 6th goal. Ryan Johansson, at this point, 29 years of age. Charles Sullivan, Nick Foligno, and down the list, this is just sorted by forwards in terms of goals scored. The point leaders sorted like this. Bjorkstrand with 19 points in 18 games so far at 27 years of age. He's played 164 career games, 23 career playoff games, a 2013 third-round pick by the Blue Jackets. Artem Anisimov, 34 years old. Duclair, 26. And Cam Atkinson, 32 years old. How old is Johansson? We saw that, 29. So we saw Johansson. So there's the list. If you just want to get the running totals through the playoffs in 18, is that as many games as the Blue Jackets have played? 18 games in the playoffs to this point. Their defensemen look like this, sorted by points. I had it sorted by points, didn't I? Josh Morrissey, he's found his way over here from Winnipeg. 27 years of age now, and what did he do in the regular season, out of my curiosity? He played 19 games. He was in the AHL? Well, only 19 games. That's really weird. Josh Morrissey, 19 games. He had 12 points in the regular... This is regular season stats. Okay, whatever. I was just curious about his stats. And, of course, did he play? He played in the AHL before that. This is really weird. Why has Josh Morrissey not been playing in the NHL in the GM mode? Anyway, they got Morrissey, Savard, Gustafsson, Jack Johnson, Murray, and Stewart. So that's the D core there, with Morrissey also scoring 5 goals from the blue line. That's really, really nice in 18 games played, 2 of them on the power play to this point in the playoffs. And in goal, it is Bobrovsky getting just the 1 game. Bobrovsky at 84 overall, Oscar Dansk at 85 overall. Where was Bobrovsky drafted? I don't actually know this information. He was undrafted, so he's an undrafted goaltender. And he played, to this point in the GM mode, 516 games, 37 career playoff games, 8 wins, 4 playoff shutouts. And you know what a beast he is in the real world right now with the Florida Panthers. You know how that timeline has gone. Here's what Bobrovsky has done in the regular season to this point in the GM mode in the past. 54 games played there. In the NHL, 52 before that. So he's kind of taken on a bit of a backup role. Where's the save percentage? 919, 915, 931, 910. GAA, did I skip? There it is, GAA. So he's just allowing a little over 2 goals against per game to this point. But it's not Bobrovsky we're really interested in. It's Oscar Dansk, who got the lion's share of the games as the starting goaltender. He had a 2.31 GAA in the regular season and a 919 save percentage. So that's the regular season stats. Like I said, I think I saw 5 shutouts there. In the playoffs to this point, 18 games. He's played in all 18 of Columbus's games. 12 wins, 5 losses, 41 goals given up. And he's faced 520 shots, 2.29 GAA, 921 save percentage. So he's rocking a really, really respectable save percentage through this point in the postseason. You want to see how that matches up against the Columbus Blue Jackets Stanley Cup final opponent in 16 games. Radek Faksa he's tied for first on the team with 5 goals. Then Corey Perry, 5 goals. Like I said, the ageless wonder, 37 now, officially 37 years old. How many career games? Over 1,300 career games, 128 career playoff games. He's getting one last run at that Stanley Cup right now. Corey Emerton, 4 goals for Caron. That's really impressive for Caron. I don't know what his average time on ice is, but he's playing in the bottom 6. Sagan, 4 goals for Smith. So you can see that we have depth goal scoring all throughout this forward lineup. There isn't a single forward here that hasn't scored at least 1 goal through 16 games in the playoffs. Very impressive for this Calgary Flames team. Your leading point getter is Riley Smith with 10. And so no one is point per game, but we don't need anyone to be when you are just getting points throughout your entire, 12 forwards. Everybody's getting points and contributing. But man, this is the crazy part. The penalty minutes, which we racked them up in that series against Chicago, the fights, the penalties, the lack of discipline. The plus minus is kind of all over the place. We got a plus 10 with Faksa, so he's responsible. Perry, then we've got a bunch of pluses, but then we got a few guys that do dip into the negative here. Kostitsyn, Hanowski, Granlund. Looking at defensemen, we have, let's go over here and sort this by goals first. We don't have a ton of defensemen scoring goals in this postseason, but we do have 2 from Ollie, 2 from Ekblad, 1 from Clefbaum, Luff, Laxo. Remember, Luff's goal, by the way, is that empty net goal that Chicago scored on themselves when they pulled Corey Crawford. Blum has yet to score a goal in this postseason in 16 games. Ristolainen's gotten in there for 2 games. No official point in the playoffs yet. Remember, these are his first official NHL games, because if I go here, he has not played a single career game in the NHL in the regular season yet. And he's simply in the lineup because of the injury to Laxo. That's the point that I meant to mention. Laxo is injured. He is out. He's an undrafted defenseman. We signed him in free agency. He will be a UFA. And I think he is definitely out for the entirety of the Stanley Cup final. So no Laxo. It's going to have to be Ristolainen on the back end. And by the way, on the power play, Ekblad with the 1 goal, Laxo with the 1 goal on the... Hold on. Laxo on the... Was it Luff that got the goal? Oh boy, now I'm really confused. I think maybe it was Simon... Did I mention it was Simon Luff or Laxo? I think it's Simon Luff had... Yeah, it was Simon Luff that had the goal. So Laxo has the power play goal. I'm already getting myself confused. And goaltending-wise, Kemper's gotten in there for 2. He hasn't started a game yet, by the way. He just came in relief, and when he did come in relief, he did more than I was asking him to do in those poor games against Chicago. It was the games that we played poorly against the Blackhawks. I had to pull Peter Mrazek. He's played all 16 games. He has a 2 GAA and a 93.39 save percentage in facing 484 shots, 32 goals against on those 484 shots. He has one shutout, which was the last game. It was the last game we played. He had the shutout in the most recent game in this playoff run. I always like to show the lines and the lineups for our opponents as we begin a new series. So this is what the Blue Jackets are lined up with. Cam Atkinson, Artem Anisimov, 87 overall, two-way forward, centering the first line alongside Bjorkstrand on the wing. That's very respectable. Atkinson is a bit of a dip from what I would expect on the top line at 83 overall, but they do have that sniper on each wing on the top line there. Hagelin, the former Ranger, on the left wing, second line left wing, beside of Johansson, or Johansson. I think Ryan Johansson, right? Johansson, not Johansson. So Ryan Johansson, 85 overall, playmaking center, and Anthony Duclair, sniper on the right wing, playmaker, sniper. Kirby Reichel on the left wing on the third line, 83 overall. Power forward, Brandon Dubinsky centers that third line, so they've got good center depth. And they have good depth overall with Dubinsky, then Foligno, 83 overall, two-way forward. Sullivan, the enforcer, in a time when enforcers were still a thing, 82 overall. McRae, not sure who that is, never heard of that guy. McRae, the power forward. And I'm going to butcher this name. Matre? I'm going to go with Matre. Matre rolls off the tongue better. Barely rolls off the tongue for me. 84 overall, power forward. And here's a look at their forward core. Now the defense core, Murray, 90 overall with Jack Johnson, 86 overall. Gustafsson, the 82, paired with Savard, the 85. Then Stewart, the 81 overall defensive defenseman, with Josh Morrissey, the 84 overall offensive defenseman, I'm sorry. Really weird D pairs here in the way they've chosen to go about things. They didn't decide to stack their D pairs in terms of, normally what you would see is you would probably see Josh Morrissey on the second pair with Savard, for example. So you pair the 84 overall with the 85, and then Gustafsson would be bumped down to the third pairing to play alongside Stewart. But that's not how they've done it here, and I think this is probably due to handedness. So Josh Morrissey gets the rough end of the stick, I guess you could say, by being demoted to that third pairing, getting the least minutes on this D core as an 84 overall offensive defenseman. But he'll get in on the power play, or not. Oh, he does. He is on the power play. Second unit power play. I didn't even read that. So Josh Morrissey is not even first unit power play time. He's getting second unit power play time. That's the way the Blue Jackets power play looks. Just a snapshot of the penalty kill, PK1, PK2. And we've seen the goaltender situation. We know it's Dansk and Bobrovsky. We will see if we can chase Oscar Dansk from the net. Hell, just so it's in the video, this is the way that we line up going into the Stanley Cup Final. Riley Smith, first line center. Sagan, the 89 overall playmaker. Corey Perry, like I mentioned, ageless wonder at this point, has significantly dropped off this year, now down to an 80 overall throughout this playoff run at 37 years of age. This is the final shot for Corey Perry. Talusti, Faksa, Eller, that's a great second line. I mean, love the depth there. Kostitsyn, Granlund, Hanowski, they've definitely got us beat on depth. They do. If you look at overall, from an overall rating perspective anyway. Polinen, Emerton, and Caron. I've been very surprised with that fourth line, and despite Caron getting fourth line minutes, he is one of the leading point getters on this Calgary Flames team as the power forward. I believed in him ever since I traded for him from Boston. Defensively, Blum, Ekblad, Ristolainen in there for the injured Laxo on the second pair with Simon Luff, Clefbaum, and Ollie. So there's your defense pairs. And the power play looks like this. Riley Smith, Sagan, Perry, Ekblad, Talusti, Hanowski, Faxa, Kostitsin, Ristolainen, and Eller on that second power play unit. The PK, where's the PK? PK looks like this. Faxa, Sagan, Ekblad, Luff, Eller, Perry, Blum, and Clefbaum. That makes up the two penalty killing units. You obviously know the goaltending situation. It's Mrazek in the net as the starting goaltender with the backup of Darcy Kemper. Should we get it rolling into Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final? Are you ready for this? Both teams take the ice for the start of... Wait, why are we in New York Arena? wait. Did the Blue Jackets get kicked out of Nationwide? And the New York Rangers elected to host the Columbus Blue Jackets for this Stanley Cup Final? What the hell's going on? It looks like we're in MSG for this game. At least that's what it said. Did you see the Jumbotron? We're certainly not in Columbus. But it says Nationwide Arena on the ice. Anyway... Both teams take the ice for Game 1, Stanley Cup Final. Here we go. Oh my goodness gracious, Aaron Ekblad with the turnover of all turnovers. The nerves getting to Aaron Ekblad. Oh, they really are. He has just a bad, it might be that eye there. You see how it says Rangers on the Jumbotron? We're in MSG for this game. Why? Aaron Ekblad letting the nerves get to him a little bit here in the Stanley Cup Final. Opening shift, he fumbles the puck, and then he goes and boards one of the Blue Jackets players in the corner. Got away with what could have been a 5-minute major. Ristolainen will play this off the draw, and down the rink it will go. I'm stunned. I'm at a loss for why the Blue Jackets are playing in MSG. Just another EA Sports glitch. What a glitch to have here in the Stanley Cup Final. We played some weird. Oh my God, Hagelin had it set up to perfection there. We're having one of those opening game shifts just like we saw in Game 1 against Chicago. Sagan still has the puck. Oh my God! What did we do? What did we do? We scored off of that. Short-handed, we get it done. Just continue to believe in this team. Tyler Seguin, the captain, leads the way. In fact, I still have that throat irritation going on. Peter Mrazek gets a point on that. He gets the assist on that Tyler Seguin goal. That a spectacular play, a spectacular move by Seguin to get the goal. This team, I told you the power kill is a thing for this Flames team. What an opening salvo for Tyler Seguin. I told you I have that irritation because I had an illness. About roughly 3 weeks ago or so. And, I have long kicked the actual illness, but the cough has just continued to linger. And so has the, irritation in my just airways. My entire airways are just, basically irritated. I get a lot of coughing and I can't control it, which has actually prevented me from being able to record this series like I want to. Well, we're just little danglers out here, short-handed, to open the Stanley Cup Final. This is the Stanley Cup Final, and we're just playing like this is a preseason game with the way we're dangling the puck anyway. Just careless dangles, and it's working out for us right now until this all backfires. This is a confident Flames team. We've had quite the playoff run to get here, and I'm assuming Columbus had quite the playoff run as well. I forgot to do something. I may have to edit it in here, but I never looked at the playoff tree. I'll probably have to find a way to edit that in here. Maybe I will look at it after I record this gameplay, and oh my God, and we'll take it. Well, okay, Ristolainen shoots high over the net. So we just chip that back in. That'll be wide of the net, but I just wanted to get it back in deep in the zone. Out of the box is Ekblad, and he's really up on this play as we wanted to get the defenseman activated. Actually, there's 3 defensemen on the ice, so it made sense with Ekblad coming out of the box. Just go in there and act like a forward. Oh, there we go. Ristolainen with the calm and a heady play. Look, Ekblad is playing forward. skate the stick move. He might as well play forward with a move like that. We're breaking out all the moves tonight. Ekblad. Look at this. Ekblad. Wide of the net. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe he should play forward. Blum, just skated right into the territory of, I'm not even sure what number. I didn't pay attention to the numbers on the Blue Jackets. Hanowski chipping it down low. Again, we got the battle of the Johnny Gaudreau teams, basically, here. And rest in peace, Johnny Gaudreau. We all miss and we all love you and we all miss you. All the entire hockey world does. We'll try to get Johnny Gaudreau, if nothing else, we'll try to get him created and into the game for a future GM mode. Maybe we make him. You can chip in if you're a viewer of the series. You chip in. You tell me what you want me to do with Johnny Gaudreau. Do you want me to make him a draft pick, or just put him on his good old Flames team or the Blue Jackets? Whatever you want me to do, chip in and let me know. We'll add Johnny Gaudreau to the next GM mode that we have when this one finishes up. We're going to take this the full 10 seasons here. Hanowski just missed it off the net. We were initially going to do 5 seasons. That was the initial challenge anyway. Win the Stanley Cup in 5 seasons. And I was giving myself that short little window to get it done, and we did get it done. And then we drafted this man, Aaron Ekblad. And then I wanted to see what he could become. He has become the absolute unit on the blue line the Calgary Flames need in order to consistently contend for Stanley Cup championships. And here we are in the final, the last round of the playoffs, contending and competing for that. Lord Stanley, it hasn't been inevitable for the Flames team. We did take it in Season 4. Big spoiler for you there. If you watched the series and you kept up with the series, you would know that we did take it in Season 4, and in what was a very rowdy, full-on 7-game series against the Buffalo Sabres. It went the full 7. We played the games we played on the road in Buffalo in that series were really bad. Oh my God, that was a bad turn. That was a weird play all around. Good play by Ristolainen, and he's actually going to get a breakaway for himself. Oh yeah, Ristolainen first playoff goal, and he gets it on a breakaway. This has been a miserable start for the Columbus Blue Jackets in this first game of the Stanley Cup final. And then I don't know what he points to. He pointed at a fan, the cockiness of the Finnish defenseman, the call-up from the AHL due to the injury of Alexei Laxo. And so we trade out one Finn for another Finn. He's coming in here and playing really great in this playoff since he's been added to the lineup. A fine addition, if I must say so myself. Paulinen, watch yourself on those boards. The breakout play is to Emerton. Emerton, one hand. Oh, my God, we had Karan jumping in on that play. We could have got it to him on the back door. Paulinen wristed along. Paulinen. There. Oh, my God, what a big careening hit off the zone entry. We're just out throwing bodies. Big rebound by Peter Mrazek. Paulinen shrugs off a check. Paulinen a windmill. Oh, we're getting fancy with it. Oh, my God, we couldn't stay with that play. Oh, yeah, Perry throws the body. We want this cup, and we want it bad. Hagelin protects himself, shields the puck away from the pressure of Blum, shoots one on. I think that got off the pad of Mrazek. A chop attempt failed by Blum. Round the net. From behind the net, the goal line, the low to high play picked off by Corey Perry. He's got legs, even at 37 years of age. He's got speed. He runs into Dansk. There is no response from Murray or the Blue Jackets. Rimmed around. In to pick that up with Sagan, but he's going to leave it for Keith Ollie. Kick down low for Sagan. Sagan bumps around that. Shoots, and into Dansk. An easy save, maybe, through traffic, or maybe a not-so-easy save. No, we're not dropping the gloves. We have all the momentum in this game right now. Why would I elect to get involved in a fight that I may not win? And that's a nice water break for me because I am very thirsty and I need the water. Oh, it's so funny how, the off-play music, there are songs that come in the game that I was listening to earlier. Sometimes I get music in the game that I was listening to earlier in the day. And I was listening to Baba O'Reilly by The Who earlier today, and then it plays as the off-play music in the game. So maybe the DJ inside of, I don't even know what arena we're playing in, inside MSG, was reading my mind. We'll do another face-off. He knows what's up musically speaking. Leading point scorer is Riley Smith, 10 goals in 16, or 10 points. Did I say 10 goals? 10 points in 16 games. No one on our team is quite point per game in the playoffs, but we don't need anybody to be. In fact, that's just a high mark of all of our depth and how much we rely on everybody to contribute to the offense for this Flames team. We don't rely on one sole player or line to get it done. Everybody has a job and a responsibility to contribute to this team and get their job done. Oh, that was good work with Talusti. What's available? The point's covered, so I'm just going to take it. And okay, I don't know what Talusti did. I didn't mean for him to do whatever he did. That was some interesting defending there. The Blue Jackets have come through neutral ice. They power it to the net here. Again, I'm not even familiar with the numbers and who the players are other than the names that I see on the ice. That guy lost his stick, number 10. All I can say is number 10. Very professional of me, right? I just know it's number 10. Talusi, another hard charge toward the net and a hard charge at that poor Blue Jackets player now laying on the ice. Offside is Anthony Duclair wearing number 15. So I'm trying to get it all in my brain. So when I see a number, I can associate a name with that number. But, the rosters through the GM mode for every team have changed so dramatically to this point that there's going to be a lot of new names and a lot of new faces in new places, including here in Calgary. We've had roster turnover, but I've kept, for a little while now, we've kind of kept the essential core together and just traded out and moved around depth pieces. But, one of the biggest depth pieces being this Karan guy right here. He's getting it on the forecheck. He's hustling. We've created an opportunity to turn the puck over on the forecheck. Cam Atkinson's still in Columbus. Oh, that was the most dangerous D-to-D pass I could have ever made. Blum has the puck. It was lost off of the stick of Polinen. Emerson stays with it. Rink wide for Polinen. A little behind the Finnish forward, the undersized Finnish forward, the grinder, Polinen. He's putting that forecheck pressure on. I don't know why we're not, we're not biased toward a heavy forecheck, so that's why we didn't really have anyone up to help the forecheck out. However, we come through center ice here really well with Tyler Sagan opens up the hips to get the move. Back to Ekblad. We know he's got the shot from the blue line, but it's going to be Blum taking it. He scores! Blum from the blue line. It was along the ice, and it goes through, I'm assuming, the 5-hole of Oscar Dansk. That is Blum's first goal of the playoffs. We previewed this at the beginning of the episode, and I said Blum is, one of the few defensemen that actually don't have a goal for the Calgary Flames in the postseason. Well, he's gotten on the board in Game 1 now. Almost left it as late as possible in the playoffs to get that first postseason goal with the Calgary Flames. We have just taken charge in Game 1, a surprising open to this series, but maybe not so much. Maybe the Blue Jackets are just outmatched, and this is going to be a 4-game sweep. When you play like this, it certainly is going to be a 4-game sweep if you play like this and you're Columbus. Anelski. Oh, what domination. What domination by the Flames. If anyone wants to accuse me of nerfing the difficulty, we are on the exact same difficulty, sliders, everything that we've been playing this entire playoff run on. Oscar Dansk and the Blue Jackets they just suck, maybe. Maybe they just suck. Look, I don't want to get into underrating an opponent here, but this has been an atrocious start for the Blue Jackets on home ice. If you can call MSG home ice. I mean, I got away with that move with Keith Ollie. How the hell did I do that? Oh, yeah. Look at us. We're playing keep away. We are just playing keep away with Riley Smith there. Get in position here, Keith Ollie. That was well defended. And they still don't get a shot on goal there. Back to the point. And a pad save. Reichel in front. That was tapped on, but wide. Now the Blue Jackets, they've answered with a good shift, good pressure of their own. Riley Smith shrugs that one off. And back to Riley Smith in front, but the Blue Jackets get back on D. A good back check to prevent a possible 5th goal in the period. Just an atrocious. I mean, you couldn't draw up a worse start in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on, again, I quote, home ice. We're going to just pretend like it's Nationwide Arena. It's about the best chance they've gotten in this game. It was a deflected tip in front of the net by Foligno. So we're going to just stroll right into the intermission. Can we get a goal? Talusti. blocked. Shoot, Faxa. Oh, I can't believe that they didn't try to rip his face off for batting that into the net at the after the horn. There was the save and then batted into the net. A period of just purely extreme domination by the Calgary Flames on the offensive side of the puck. Everything, it felt like, was going into the net in that period. I mean, the creativity off the charts by this Flames team. 4 goals. Oh, there he is. And there, Bobrovsky's in the net. We have already chased Oscar Dansk from the net. You can tell it's MSG. You can just tell. But again, pretend. This is Nationwide Arena. Nothing else to see here, folks. Bobrovsky in the net to open period number 2. We have certainly chased the starting netminder of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Oh, Bobrovsky, welcome to the game. He's already laying in the crease. He wants to die. He's like, oh no, I have to come in here and face this. I'm not fighting. I don't have any reason to fight. I have a huge advantage in the game on the scoreboard. I've forced your team to pull your starting goaltender after just the first period of play. Why would I fight? 4 goals already in the first period. You'd have to imagine, Columbus has to score 4 goals. We're offside here. Columbus has to score 4 goals just to tie. And here's another song I listened to earlier today. What is the deal? You'd have to imagine 4 goals is pretty hard it's going to be pretty hard to do in this game for Columbus. That's just to tie the game. We're not even done yet. We might have a 5th goal. We might have 6, 7, who knows? What we might have up our sleeves. The way we're playing, we're playing a really solid road game right now. That was a good forecheck. We just didn't get the turnover. In the middle, Mrazek, wrist the line and don't put it in your own net. Yeah, you have the 1 goal here tonight on that beautiful breakaway in the first period. Now, can we expect any kind of animosity pushback from the Blue Jackets? Having a tough time navigating neutral ice, which is the goal. That's why I set up with this beautiful 1-2-2, make things difficult. There's not even a zone entry to be had. They don't have a choice. They dump it in, and this is the play style we went with against the Chicago Blackhawks in that pivotal Game 6 that we shut them out. We completely shut the door against the Blackhawks in that Game 6. That was a dangerous pickup by Ristolainen. We'll ice this on accident. I can't ask for much more out of my team. We're doing every little thing we're doing right. We're having a few little breakdowns in our game, like that one. We gave a wide open one-timer in the slot, and we almost put it into our own net after trying to clear the rebound. But we're doing every little thing right. We're passing well. We're breaking out clean, and we're breaking out together as a team. There's a lot of support all over the ice. We're dumping it in. We're forechecking. We're getting offense. We're getting breakaways. We're getting in behind their defense. We have too much speed for their defense at times. Can't complain with the way this Flames team's playing right now. Don't need to change or alter anything at all. There's no alterations necessary. We're going to be the handful. We're going to be a true handful to deal with in this entire series. So no one's up there. I just want to rim that. It doesn't get out. Kind of a lazy play by the defenseman. Hoping to get it out. I was kind of anticipating that there would be a winger on the boards. There is a winger up the ice at Chanowski. Okay, buys time for himself. Tries to go rink wide for Kostitsin. We'll go back up at the point. Ekblad releases one that breaks his stick. So he's got to go off and get a new twig. He might as well just go on a line on a D change. Get a new defenseman out there. Clefbaum, your job is to seal this puck. He tried. Yep, projected that pass beautifully. Help from Ollie here on the breakout. We got this weird breakout play that just trying to get people moving. We got people moving all right, but all in the wrong places. Giving Columbus an extended possession here. An extended shot at life. Oh, we should have kept chasing that down, but they come off on a weird change that actually pushes Caron backward. That didn't allow him to chase down that loose puck. Someone's got to decide who's going to be the F1 on that forecheck. The first man in. The first man in on the forecheck. So important. Oh, Hagelin scores a goal. What a snipe. I think it goes low glove. Are the Blue Jackets back in the game now? Well, that was weird because it was blocked. We had possession. Possession was lost, I think, from Sagan, picked up by Hagelin, and it was low. It was weird. It actually went off the glove of Mrazek before it went into the net. It just kind of had one of those trickling effects Right off the glove, down and into the net. Again, a perfect spot to shoot the puck, though. Under the glove, over the pad. Tough spot for a goaltender. I'm going to actually slap this into the zone. It's kind of a weird-looking dump in, isn't it? But we got to just make sure we have that aggressiveness to go retrieve it. We've done a good job so far, staying out of the penalty box. That's a great play by Ekblad. This is actually going to give Talusti a chance. He's going to stop. And he got nudged a little bit off the puck, so he couldn't stay with that puck and stay with that play. And a good turnover by Ekblad. We delay to stay onside. I'm going to cut back toward my blue line. There it is, Blum. A heavy rebound. As Bobrovsky did all he could to control and then, of course, cover that rebound. We're not going to agree to anything. If anything at all, Columbus should be going to the penalty box. Both teams have been very disciplined. There hasn't been a single... Well, I'll take that back. Didn't we have that power? We gave up that power play to Columbus early in the game. We had that penalty from Ekblad. We didn't give up a goal on that power play. In fact, we scored shorthanded. That was Tyler Seguin's opening goal, the opening salvo in Game 1 here. Ristolainen scores again. A quick one-timer off the face-off, and it proves to be very effective. Clean, well, maybe not clean past Bobrovsky. I want to imagine that Bobrovsky got a piece of that before it went into the net. That was almost like a set play off a face-off. Win it, back to your defenseman, send it across, set up for the one-timer. It did. It just trickled down off the glove and in. Blue Jackets having a nightmare of a game. They try to get right back into one, and they give up that weak goal from the blue line. I know it's a one-time slap shot from the blue line. And also, Ristolainen has his first 2 playoff goals in this one game alone. So he has both of his playoff goals have come in this game. One was a breakaway, and one was a blue liner slap shot. He got a lot of juice on that thing. I mean, the juice missile from the point was shot to perfection. And it was too much for Bobrovsky to handle. We have recovered that 4-goal advantage we want to play with. And it just allows us to play loose. You know, that's the nice thing about getting a big lead is now we can play loose. We just have these guys outnumbered on the boards. That was a beautiful play in our D zone. Of course, I know we're not out of the zone, but it was a beautiful play. We had numbers. The puck is doing a lot of weird things physics-wise, and we just can't get it out. So we'd be smart to dump this in. In fact, I'm going to let Kostitsin go change. Someone else go get in on the retrieval, on the forecheck. Good play by Perry. Great play by Perry. We'll send it back in. We can just play very sound, patient, persistent hockey. Seguin, I thought he still had it. I was surprised to see he didn't come away with the puck there. Dubinsky will gain that blue line and try to send it back in, but he is just rejected by Aaron Ekblad's great stick. We've had a lot of good sticks on the ice in this game. Ekblad helps out his goalie. We're going to go up the ring. We'll just skate this out with Aaron Ekblad. Can he get to the middle? A pivot move by Ekblad. Oh, almost found Seguin on the back door. You can see the look of panic on every Columbus Blue Jacket player's face on that possession. They have given that play up way too much in this game. There's just been no room, no space to navigate, and this is how I want to play this series. I want to suffocate these guys. Now, this is a good time for a cutback. There's the delay. A little bit optimistic, believing we could get that puck over to the defenseman. I'm going to let Ristolainen hold the blue line here. And now, Simon Luff, you hold your blue line. Look at us. We're taking the body check. We're receiving it. And then we're just staying with the puck. We're not getting knocked to the ice. We're just absorbing their contact and staying with the puck. Now, what can... controller. First one of the game. First one of the Stanley Cup final. I hate those controller disconnects, but, with a wired connection, it's going to happen. Facts of the windmill. His teammate didn't stay with him. What a weird diving play, but it was very effective. Was that Duclair? Who made... Oh, penalty. Oh, no. Second minor penalty of the game charged to the Calgary Flames. Radek Faksa? He wears 97. I don't know. I didn't see the number. Yep, Radek Faksa, 97. Going to the box. We got that power kill, which has been very effective tonight because it does have a goal. But this is not the Seguin penalty kill unit on the ice, is it? No, it is. That's Seguin right there. I thought Seguin would be taking the face-offs. Why is Emerton taking the face-off? Maybe that's how I have it set up, or is it because of Radek Faksa? Isn't Faksa supposed to... I think Faksa is supposed to be the center on this penalty kill with Seguin, but he's in the penalty box right now, so someone's got to take the face-offs instead of Faksa. Wow, they can't get anything established on the power play. Bjorkstrand is going to have to dump this, he sends it forward. Why would you dump it in on the power play right there? Especially trailing this much, trying to get your team back in the game. You never know. And, oh, wait, that was weird. I felt like we blocked that into our goaltender, and that actually works. That's a clear. But we can go for that aggressive play on offense while killing this penalty because we got such a big gap on the scoreboard. So I feel like the power kill can certainly activate right here. Seguin leaves it for Eller. And, I mean, the Blue Jackets are going to kill me for doing this, going for it shorthanded, just trying to pad the stats and rack it up on the scoreboard. But, you know, the game's not over until the final horn sounds, and I want to play until that final horn does indeed sound. Eller just out of reach. This will be Bjork. No, this is Murray. He's nudged a bit. I'm going to get the names of the Blue Jackets at some point. This is definitely Anisimov. He powers it behind the Flames net, sends it back to the point. There's that shot, but it's going to be blocked. Too many bodies on the way through. Yuri Talusti, an up and over move, and he still has the puck. Left along for Simon Luff. Spin around. What the hell? What was that possession? Oh, man, that was crazy, man. Could you imagine if we scored a goal with that? Simon Luff, it wasn't enough to just simply get the shot on the goal. He had to do a 360 no-scope on his way in. Talusti does a 360 no-scope, gets the puck back and scores on the give and go. We're just tearing these guys to shreds out here. This is just astounding. Astounding work. Sagan's going to get a point on the assist. Bobrovsky goes for a failed poke check and exposed the 5-hole. As he did that, just can't hang with this Flames team. You cannot hang. I mean, imagine you're watching this first game and you're a Blue Jackets fan, and you're just demoralized witnessing what we're doing to your team. This has got to be demoralizing. You don't stand a chance. You're just like, oh, this is an easy sweep, right? Who knows? Blue Jackets aren't ready for to play in this Stanley Cup final round. A little too much there, Hanowski. At this point, though, we can try it. If you're going to score a goal now, at this point, if you're Calgary, if you're going to score a goal, it has to be a wicked sick highlight reel. Well, I'll be damned if I'm not going to get my wicked sick highlight reel goal. That was sick by Granlund. I'm just laughing. Enjoying the moment right now. Oh, no, I'm dropping him for this one. Keith Ollie, he stands up for his teammate. Not going to do that in here, son. Sullivan, I don't even know. Chris Sullivan, I didn't pay attention. But I'm going to absolutely pound your face in right here. Well, maybe not. I appreciate Keith Ollie standing up for his teammate. It's the least he could do. And I mean, that fight's about the only thing that's gone right for Columbus in this game. So you cannot bowl over Granlund like that and think, you know, I'm going to be okay with everything. I don't care what the score sheet says. I don't care what the scoreboard is. He's had a few too many hamburgers. You can tell by that face. Now, will Columbus get a little momentum off of that? Who knows? Or am I'm back to Deke City here. Roddick Faksa tries the move. Stick lifted. Talusti stays with it. This line is real. Oh, that's just a cherry on top. He wasn't even shooting to score. He does a deke and it goes in the net. Talusti does a deke and it goes in the net. I mean, this is just a game where everything is going... Nothing can go wrong for Calgary in this game. We can't do anything wrong, man. We deke the puck into the net. Now, do you pull Bobrovsky for the emergency backup goaltender? That's what I would do. You might stand a better chance. Dave Ayers, get out here. And utterly just unreal showing. The Blue Jackets were booed off the ice to end that last period of play. I mean, I would be too. they're gonna have enough of this. Seguin with a big hit. It's gonna be a penalty, but I'll happily take that penalty. An embarrassing showing for Columbus. This is the Stanley Cup final, and this is how they've come out to play. I want to know how in the world this is a penalty. I don't know how that's boarding because, excuse my burp there, he didn't hit him into the boards. He hit him near the boards, but he didn't hit him into the boards. It was just a clean hit, but you know the referees are making it up to Columbus. It's been a brutal night for the Blue Jackets. Just a little, you get this is just like the Make-A-Wish version of a power play, and I mean it doesn't even matter because Roddick Fox is going to dangle your whole freaking team. I mean he still has the puck. The way this one's going, I wouldn't be shocked if anything went in. Pile up the goals. Maybe we can get 10. No way. And we still come away with this. We come away with a potential odd man rush. Fox shoots. I'm not even really trying to score, man. I'm just trying to see. I mean, if I could show up this Blue Jackets defense with these handles. Don't give them a Make-A-Wish goal here either. They have to earn every inch of ice that they get in this series and this game. It could be, you know, it could be a blowout. It could be 20-1. And I don't want to give them anything. I'm here to show them who's daddy in this series. That's how to play. I mean, we've been daddy all night long. I don't even remember the goal that they got. That's how unmemorable this game has been for Columbus. I can't even tell you how they got their goal. I don't remember it. I don't even know most of our goals. We've scored too many. There's too many goals to remember for our team. All right, I'm flipping it down the rink. My cockiness is going to get the better of me at some point in this series. I guarantee you. Place your bets now. Do you think this is going to be a sweep? Should I get ahead of myself and believe that we're going to sweep this team? I mean, we've got all... Oh, that's a major. That's a bad penalty to take. Lars Eller getting a little bit out of control on that hit. I can see the major penalty called on that. That was pretty bad. That's Cam Atkinson on the receiving end. Well, Department of Player Safety is going to be looking at that one. You might be looking at a suspension, Lars Eller. I'm just kidding. Well, I talked about, you know, it'd be cool if I could control, you know, the other team's rosters and who plays in the games, but I can't control the AI roster in the GM mode. But if you could, you know, imagine sitting a player out for a series, for like a game or two, almost like a suspension, if they get in trouble for a 5-minute major. So if the AI player gets a 5-minute major, I'm just going to clear it. But, you know, you got to come forecheck first, Columbus, and they brought on that forecheck real quick. But I could sit any player if they take a 5-minute major. I wish I could have that kind of control, but EA has not elected to give the player that kind of control in the GM mode. We're still playing for pride with this PK. Playing to bump up our numbers. I mean, we've had a great penalty kill in this playoffs. The last game against Chicago was just so many... Oh, there's a goal. And right as I'm speaking about it, Atkinson, who got boarded on that major penalty, scores the goal for Columbus. Now they're within 5. There is hope, perhaps. But I've already forgotten what tangent I went off on. Something about, you know, suspending players. It would be cool if I could suspend players. I don't even know how I would determine. I mean, just because it's a 5-minute major doesn't mean it's worthy of a suspension. Maybe if there's a bad injury to go with it. Remember, that's how Laxo got injured. That's why we're missing Laxo. He got boarded from behind by Jonathan Taves in the Chicago series, and he was just laying on the ice after the hit. He's not even gonna be back for the Stanley Cup final. I kept taking these penalties in this game, and expecting that Columbus wasn't going to answer at some point. Our penalty kill is better offensively than their power play is. They've got this whole major power play opportunity, and it's just going to waste away because of bad plays like this. And we're taking these guys to school here. I was surprised we didn't score with that Riley Smith opportunity. Got to be a frustrating night for Columbus. I mean, imagine you come into a Stanley Cup final game and this is the effort that you show your home fans, and this is the effort that your team puts on display. I pinched with the defenseman down the wall on a penalty kill to give you guys a potential 3-on-1 advantage going the other way, and they didn't get anything out of it at all. That's how lightly I'm taking the Columbus Blue Jackets right now. I just want to get that puck moving. Penalty coming up to Columbus. It was pretty bad. Drawn by Clefbaum. Will barely get any power play time at all. It seems like lately the officials just have not been calling penalties against the opposing teams. They haven't really gone out of their way to take any penalties. The physical tone has been set entirely by our team. That's why we're the penalty takers. We're just out hitting and out physically abusing these opponent teams. I mean, I'm not even really trying to score there. Columbus is going to have to make an adjustment in this series. That's a goal waiting to happen. Big blocker save and a big rebound as well off of that. Here's that point shot. Loading it up, looking for the deflection. Wrist the line and on the spot with that block. We did get it at least out back to center. Going to go D to D here. Up to Granlund. Let's just make him defend this penalty killing effort. I mean, can you say anything else about how good this penalty kill is? Shorthanded. The offense, we're just bold enough to go for those offensive chances. Technically, we're gonna have just had a power play, but it was barely any time on the power play. Foxa took a spill from Anisimov, who almost got on the board with that. Big block by Foxa. Still selling out in a 7-2 game, but it is the Stanley Cup final. That's how much these guys care. They're going to sell out no matter the score, no matter the situation. Oh, bad time to go on a change. Can we beat out the icing call? What a hustle by Emerton, man. Hustling to beat out an icing that leads to a goal. No need to even celebrate that. It's 8-2. Don't celebrate. Don't give them anything. No ammunition to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Although, I mean, scoring 8 goals. Is that not plenty of ammunition? That was all because we beat out an icing. We dish it off to the help in the corner to Polinen, centered. And, I mean, if you can't defend that pass, I mean, you deserve to get scored on. That's all that I'm going to say. Nothing surprises me. Oh, that's Toulouse's hat trick, by the way. Oh, and by the way, Toulouse has a hat trick in Game 1. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Uh-oh, what happened? What the hell happened? It asked me to do a fight. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do in this game if you're Columbus. I mean, it's time to go full Harlem Globetrotters out here. I mean, we practically are. You've seen some of these moves we pulled off in this game? Yeah, I felt the pressure coming down the wall. That's why I chose to do the deke. I didn't want to take a big punishing hit and risk an injury there to my forward. Rimmed along, but no one's on the boards to help that. Wiley Smith comes away with the puck. We come away with another 2-on-1. We're going to bump this to the outside. Smith, backdoor Hanalski. Bobrovsky with a big save. Go down behind the net. Granlund in front for Smith. Get out of my way. Oh, get out. Riley Smith, dude. Oh, by the way, you got a defenseman looking for his hattie. Wrist the line and sends it back in. And, you know, and now we're mixing it up. Oh, uh-oh. Hanalski and Stewart have agreed to entertain the fans here at Madison Square Garden. Currently on loan to the Columbus Blue Jackets for the Stanley Cup Final. Well, I don't know what the story is there. I mean, there was a flood in Columbus, and nationwide got flooded, and the New York Rangers were very kind to loan out MSG to the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Rangers didn't make the playoffs this year, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, I just get my ass kicked in these fights. I guess it's just, I don't know if it's the fighting slider, the difficulty slider for fighting against the AI is cranked up. Or not cranked up, but it's turned up a little bit. And I guess if you combine the slider for fighting difficulty with a fighting skill mismatch, if you know what I mean, like depending on who's fighting and what their fighting skill is, you might get a mismatch. And if it's a complete mismatch, you just don't stand a chance here. We're kind of playing man-on-man here with Blum. That's, all right, we're going to get out. Caron. Like I said, if you're going to score a goal, it's got to be fancy handles. And Karan doesn't have the hands to pull anything like that off, which is fine with me. We don't need to run up the scoreboard any more than we have so far, but it's not going to stop me from trying. Faxa. Penalty coming up, and that's a bad place to put Radek Faxa in this series. That was a bad place to put him in, but we'll be on the power play, so a little bit of power play experimentation. We'll go overload as if we needed any more offense. That was my fault. I skated Faxa right into that big body collision. And aside from it being an elbow, I didn't see much of anything that was wrong with the hit. A chance to work on our power play, which technically is 0 for 1, but it never even got a shot when we were put on the power play. It was about 7 seconds of power play time. We wouldn't have been able to do anything with the power play. Now, I want to get it into the zone so we can get set up. So I want to get it into the zone, drive it in. And there we go. So we're going to use our overload. Someone get down low. Tolusti. Going for that 4-goal game, right? Kostitsyn. Wow. Radek Faxa like it's no big deal. I mean, that was sloppy and we still scored. We're going to just rack up 10 goals in this first game of the Stanley Cup Final. This is the most goals we've scored in a playoff game ever in the GM mode. I mean, basically left there for Faxa posting in. Do I want to see the save percentage of the Columbus goaltenders coming out of this one? Is there it doesn't matter what goalie you start in game 2? I don't even know that it matters. We win the face-off up to Emerton. We're going to be offside. I was going to bump that off on the wing, but we're going to be offside. I mean, we're just grinding down the minutes in game 1. A victory of dominating fashion. I didn't even know Tolusti had a hat trick. So here's the replay of the hat trick for Tolusti. Backdoor 5-hole. That was his first. What was this one? The Deke goal. I couldn't even believe that went in. And then I don't know what, the one-timer in the slot. Right. So there's all 3 of Tolusti's Stanley Cup Final hat trick goals. We want to talk about getting it done by committee tonight. We've gotten 9 goals between our 12 forwards tonight. I mean, Tolusti has 3 of those 9 goals all by his lonesome. Emerson play. Look at that move by Emerson. That actually both maintained possession and protected himself from the player. Paulinen shrugged that hit off. Up to Karan. Now, I talked about Karan not having hands. He's just going to get nudged by Murray because of the size of Karan. So, I mean, is there... Oh, in front of your goaltender. Yeah, I would fight over that too, but, you know, I like it from Karan, you know. We're establishing dominance in this series, in this one game. All right, I got to remember to dodge some of these punches. So take your time. Don't just go hack 'em, whack 'em robots on Jack Johnson's face. But Johnson stood up for his teammate. I just can't win a fight, man. I have no fighting skill against the AI, at this difficulty anyway. But I understand the fight. Your buddy got lit up like a Christmas tree in front of his own goaltender. I'd go fight for that too. It's bad enough you're getting your ass kicked on the scoreboard. I mean, sure, you can settle your differences with your fists if you want to. I don't really care. The score on the scoreboard and the series score is the only thing that I'm invested in right now. And we're doing our job there. He got stick lifted and it almost went underneath Bobrovsky and into the net. I don't want any more fighting. No. Although putting a 10th goal on the board would be insane. Are we going to look at it again? Man, they love Yuri Tolusti. High praise for this guy tonight. Oh, what? Is this his chances? So he's not only does Tolusti have the 3 goals, but these are all chances that we've had to score goals. I don't know what this highlight compilation is. It's so weird. That was just that was a bunch of random plays from this game that EA chose to just here's an assortment of plays that Calgary has made tonight. Enjoy. Feast your eyeballs. I'll feast my eyeballs on that hit by Blom. That was beautifully delivered. You can't even hang with Aaron Ekblad, buddy. Look at Ekblad still has the puck left there for Faxa. Going between the 2 defenders. Columbus has got to be fed up with this tonight. They got to be fed up. It's just not gone their way. I'm just toying with this team this evening. I wouldn't be surprised. Never mind, we didn't win the face-off. I had something in mind if we won that face-off. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised the Ristolainen hat trick is waiting on a platter. The big hit is nicely done by Ristolainen. Look how clean the breakout is, man. Just great support. Very clean breakout all over the ice. I mean, we're going to keep going until the horn sounds. I'm sorry, Columbus. Hate to do it to you. Not really. I went easy on him. That was a pretty bang-bang play on that offside from Columbus. This is Riley Smith's backdoor attempt we just had. I mean, has there just been offensive chemistry out the wazoo tonight for Calgary? No shortage of opportunities. I mean, it's crazy. I would believe that based on the chances we've gotten this evening, that there would be more goals than has been generated on the scoreboard. More goals than we've actually generated here. Back to the point and across. Blum over the net. Keep that in. No, I see it. Stay behind the net. Okay, Hanowski. I act like we really need this offensive possession. That deflects to the corner. Morrissey pressured here by the forecheck. We're going to just keep that in. Thrown on the net. Turn the side. Pretty easy save for Bobrovsky. 23 seconds to go in the game. I'm going to try for one last push for offense. Here it is. Can we get 2 goals? Yuri Talusti. Hanowski has stole that from him. Tipped in front. Talusti had the rebound. Blum will play it. We'll go behind our net to end this one. Victory in game 1. Just utter domination from the Calgary Flames. That is the big blow in this Stanley Cup final. Message has been sent. Hopefully it was well received by Columbus. We've established pure dominance in this game. It's just one game in the series. Hopefully we didn't use up all of our offense tonight. That's the main concern is, did we use all of our offense tonight? I don't know. That remains to be seen as we will battle it out again in game number 2. It will be a clean slate for both of these teams. Just going to let these replays run. And that's a game winner, Jonathan Blum's slap shot goal.